Yes. Let me get this popping. Do a quick little talk. It's been a long day. I've been on the beach. Yo, it's the salt water. I just started messing with the beach like 2 days now. And it's amazing. If you see the memes that I'm putting out, it got the picture on it now of the beach where the side that I'm on is like stone, like medieval. You know, it reminds me of the ancestors. Good free his will. What's going on? Sonia Peace and Peace Pies. Xavier Palmer. God free his will. What's good? Salute. Joe Kirby. What's good? You know, just here chopping it up now. You know, I was just telling him I've been on the beach today. And it's so funny. Salute. Sonia Peace Pies. How you doing? Peace. And being on the beach today was amazing. Like, I started doing it 2 days ago when I started putting those pictures that y'all see with the meme on it, with the log, like the energy blockage. You know, I get there, I go to the beach and the nature just to unblock myself, to balance myself out. Our energy sometimes is overwhelmed. Like, you know, us as empaths, it's a new generation. It's like things change. It's a whole hybrid science to learn, but I'm not going to dwell on that too much. But we have to do certain things now to balance ourselves, balance our energies. We can't do energy transfer by listening to everybody. John Benjamin, what's going up? Rise, shine, how you doing? All right, and we're going to just get in there now, and I want to tell y'all, because we was talking about Obitala and the gods of the white, you know, and I'm showing y'all the foam or the waves or the white part, just like the clouds. Same thing. It's the same god of the white I'm showing you in the clouds. The clouds is divided into white clouds and then the sky, or the what we call Nuit, or the dark part. Not just do the white part make an image. The dark part, or where no cloud is at, is the real image. So you got two worlds right there. The one that is no image is our world. We come from a specific place. If you didn't know that, let me put you on, because I'm there now, dealing with all of them. We come from where the black horseman is at. Don't think that everything is the same and we're following Christian and this God thing. That's all nonsense. And I'm here to put you on as a seer. That's what I am, a seer. So God of the white is taught to us by the ancestors. Anything I show y'all, nature is the one showing it to you, not me. I'm interpreting nature. I take pictures and just show you the picture with nature actually doing it. And I see it in nature. So God of the white is like this. Here go God of the white right here. Don't this look like the same? This thing is crystals, about 17 pounds of crystal right here. And this is salt. And you know, this is what I mean by God of the white. It's the same form. It's the same thing. This we have the power to tap into this. So we're going to start off real quick by Kundalini activation. I want to discuss that, but I just want y'all to see, this is my God right here. You know, this joint is, of course, a couple dollars, and I'm about to put y'all on to some stuff for protection for your house, because this is what protects you. This is Obitala right here. Anything like this is Obitala. That you want that, not clear crystal. You understand what I'm saying? You want it to be white, showing like old crack. You understand what I'm saying? It gotta be cream color, those type of things. I'm bringing out a whole series on it. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into this. I'm gonna add one of my students with me. What we're gonna do is talk about Kundalini activation. I've been working with him, activating him, and so he's gonna come on this live and talk to y'all and let y'all see what happens when your Kundalini activate. What is it about? So we're about to get into that now with somebody with me that we do Kundalini activation. So let me add them real quick. How you do this? Group Preach, send me a ad or something. I'm not very good at adding this stuff. I'm newbie to this. Okay. All right. I'm at the ad. So what do I do now? How do I do this? Oh, I see. All your viewers are to request it. I guess I'm waiting for one person, then I can add in whoever else. So I guess when you see your name, you can add. Hold on. What's going on? The person I'm supposed to add, I don't see. Group P, where you at, man? Let me see. Give me a minute, y'all. Let me get this together. One second. Not there. Okay. Look, I don't see how to add group pre. There you go. You are late. Come on, man. Let me see if you're there now. Okay. But you still don't have the add or invite yet. I see you. Let me do it again. You just got in now. Alright, you don't have an add or invite yet. Let me get an add or invite on you so I can... I don't know. You got to hit the switch on your viewer thing to turn on the... Be able to add. I see you now, but I can't add you. So tweak your thing, Group Pre. Let me add you in so we could get this going. Play with your messenger or whatever. I don't know. Let me see. There we go. Alright, I just sent you an invitation, so hopefully that'll work. Just be patient with me, y'all. 1 minute. Thanks. Latoya Martin, what's going on? Let me keep it going until you're able to come in. I don't know why I don't see you, but until you're coming in, you know, everything still goes on. Well, let's talk about Kundalini and its activation. Well, you know, what's going on with Kundalini is a lot of people is having unexpected Kundalini activation. The Kundalini that is being activated now is because we're going through, ever since like the 2012 thing going on, it's like we're going through a shift in our consciousness and also in our protons and neutrons. We're having a less atoms on us or less electrons on us. And so we're having a biochemical change. This biochemical change is what, as you see everybody starting to sun stare, you see everybody's turning spiritual, everybody's starting to be psychic and astral projecting. This is not by coincidence. This is what's afforded to the gods. So a lot of us is going through Kundalini activation, but is not conscious of what is Kundalini activation and what's its consequences, or much less how to use it as a gift or a power. So I was able to learn it, not just learn it, but go through the whole ritual for the Tuat and able to be like a hierophant where I give off a certain energy. The energy that I give off, it actually activate other Kundalini babies that's like us or indigos. And so it started this whole Kundalini activation thing. And, you know, what we do is we meet up and we exchange. And if you don't know transfer of energy or how energy transfers, let me give you the basics of it. When you interact with any human being, you actually lock in a bubble. You're in a bubble when you're by yourself, and that energy is being always charged up. You could say, especially like if you dance, you laughing, you having like a foreplay, it actually charges up your Merkaba, and that's what helps loosen Kundalini and also activate your chakras and your soul. But say now, if we meet up and I get into an argument, get into a conversation with you, it's an energy ball we both locked in. And if you have negative energy in there, you're going to push it onto me. And if I'm weak within myself or I have empathy towards you, that's what happened with most empaths. They have a lot of empathy. I wear your energy. If I'm too full with energy, my energy got to transfer and come out of me and go into the person there. So say you was a person like me who's mad, up on knowledge and know the magi stuff and has wisdom and astral project. He gets my abilities and powers and could do everything I could do. And I'm kind of stressed out, angry, and I can't astral project or do what I do no more. This could last for as long as maybe a day, an hour, or if he keep it on him and try to play you, it'll stay with him, and all he got to do is keep coming around you to recharge it. So every time he come around you, he has you and is recharging off of you. So you can never really get yourself back till you cut yourself off of them and tell them, nah, you don't even come around here. Don't answer their phone call, because they could do it over the phone. They'd be like, yo, why you ain't answering my call? Nah, don't answer nobody's call, man. Yo, that's why I tell you, just throw the phone away, because nowadays, these phones impose upon your macabre. Let me tell you why. Because now, if I call you, you have to answer it. Just to even tell me you can't talk right now. And that's all I need for just you to lock in. Once you lock in, they steal that energy. So you got to be careful of all that. Because I'm telling you from experience as an empath. I'm not telling you from no book I read or anything. I'm telling you how I was able to balance myself out after the ancestors came, or we could say my magnetic field unlocked, or my soul came. It give you empathy and make you care about people. It make you put yourself in situation, but it gives you okay, all right, groupie, I got your message. I'm here. What's going on, Sonya? Peace. Just let me know when you're ready to be added so that we could give the talk. But I'm gonna continue for a quick minute. So with these energy that we get together in the room and we have exchanging, a regular empath, right? If they come into that room, they're going to sense what you're thinking. They know everything everybody's thinking, but it hit them as one big energy. So as soon as they open the door, it hits them. Woo. And usually when it hit them like that, they either back off, nervousness, tension. Most of the time, they try to configure themselves to fit in now. This is where the fit in come in and the empath lose themselves. Once they try to fit in, they become like a shapeshifter. So whatever you say, they're going to agree with it. Whatever you're doing, they're doing it too. And that's what fuck up an empath. But they can't do nothing about it. By default, their macabre, their whole integrity is set to that frequency. And so they have to go through it. An empath is the last part of your ascension. That means you're connected back to your God and you're about to go home after this. You understand what I'm saying? It's like being locked up and they say, yo, you're about to leave. They be trying, yes. Jerome broke right, that's right. And so you have to back them down, go around them. The trick with it that, like I was saying, is once they know that you're a nuisance, they're a nuisance to you, it attacks you, because as an empath, you're sensitive to all their energy. And once they know you're an empath, the vampires lock on you more because you're more susceptible to it. A person, the soulless, is like a barbarian, a Roman. Fuck you, I don't give a fuck. Get the fuck out of here. What energy? What are you talking about? But we be fucked up. You understand? You can't be listening to those Romans, man. You can't think you're one of these Americans. You can't think none of this stuff. You have to look into yourself and then figure out, what's my feeling? What does this mean? And you will realize we part of the new Namaste Mator Norudi Asush, God Death Threat on the Beach, Xavier Palmer, yes. And once you realize this, it's like we have our own system that came with us. It's like when we talk about when rap music came, it came with breakdancing, it came with electric boogie, it came with turntables and DJing. We made that up. We came with Ebonics. So you come with your own shit. You don't follow what your parents did. You don't do what they do. And if you have your child, don't try to tell your child what to do, because they got something different. You trying to make them like you again? If you make them like you again, it's the same thing like your parents is a servant to the government. So you're setting your child up to be another servant again? Nah, they come with their own stuff. So you got to realize, just like rap music, when it came into being, it came from the gods. They came with it. They came with graffiti. Graffiti in the astral world is the same pictures. The gods came in the 80s. That's a fact. They know that. Crack came too. All the urban neighborhood, they put that on the gods. They locked up all of them, and the rest of them got killed. It's only a few that made it. I'm one of the ones that made it. So on that note now, this is what's going on today. The gods is here, but don't know who they are. And don't know what's going on. You have your own everything. Just like with the rap, like I was saying, your own talk, your own music, your own everything. Look at trap music. Look how the South is right now. They talk. They came with their own music, their own style, their own everything. Don't follow nobody and don't try to teach your kids nothing. Nature is the teacher. Once you realize that, you'll understand what's going on. And instead of you trying to impose your will, you try to figure out what they're trying to tell you. What nature trying to tell you. What the universe is trying to say. That's all. It's already there. You can't change it. Only thing you could do is understand it. When you use force, that's how you bring sorrow into your life. Pain. You know, we take on these responsibilities. Let me give you a quick example. You go find yourself just starting to learn you could fuck. You got titties, you got ass. What do? We go manipulate each other to get sex. So we learn we could do that. Once we learn we could do that, then you will see you don't care about really nothing for a while. We the diva, we the guy, we fucking running around until we start losing all them looks, all these features, all this stuff. Now you want to settle down with one woman. Now you're ready to get in a relationship. You understand? But when you do that, that's by default. You didn't do that. That's by default because your shit ain't working no more how it used to. So now you have to chill. But that's our whole problem why we can't tap in, because we look too much outside of ourselves. We feel ourselves and we use people. We do the crab in the barrel thing to each other. Once we start doing that, only time you find God and do all the right shit you're supposed to is by the time you're 50, 60 years old. It don't serve you then. It's too late. You got to catch on. Jamaica is fucked mental. You got that tasted on every level, not the same place. Xavier Palmer, fucked mental, whatever that is. All right. What I'm saying though is that first of all, we got to get everything together. You understand? We got to change the demographics. I have to keep it real like this right now because we play games. Everybody do that old European bullshit talk. We need to cut that out. I was on Facebook yesterday and it just turned me up being on Facebook to see how people is. I was in that group Namaste. And just because I post that reptilian eye thing, everybody's freaked out that is dead. The dead people of the world, the quiet ones, the one who don't is the most demonic people. The sneaky one who never face their fears is the one that is governing y'all, telling y'all what to do, how to behave, how to act, what to do, and we go for it. And they don't have a soul, and they can't see the spirits. They don't know what's going on. They went to Egypt and took the animals and said we was repping animal gods and all this stupid. Yo, they don't see that stuff. So if they can't see the gods, they don't know what's going on. How could they help you today? Look at the case and situation we're in. We're in the situation we're in because of that. Colonization. What's this hybrid talk that we're talking about in the new generation? If you study hybridism, this is what happened. They knew about these Africans in West Africa who was connected to God. So what they did was, and it's Kundalini. We know Kundalini. Same thing replicated with the Asiatics and the Indians, with the Hindus. All of that now, Sanskrit, when you get into that, they don't know what they're doing no more. They're only holding paperwork of the West Indians, the West Africans that actually did it. So from that West Africa on, nobody don't know the science no more. They tell you that study Asclepius and Godfrey. What's his name? Godfrey Higgins. Godfrey Higgins, all his books, he was around in Egypt back then. And they tell you the true stories. The Egyptian language is not Egyptian, it's Hebrew. He's like, what is this? This is Hebrew stuff. This is not Egyptian. So by us thinking today that's Egyptian, we believe Heru is real. We believe Isis is real. We reading Hebrew information and thinking it's and why? Look who's between the Hebrew information. You got this society called Egyptology. Why can't you go and interpret it for yourself? Why do Egyptologists have to tell you what each letter mean, what each hieroglyphic mean? Because it don't mean that. That's what's going on. It don't mean that. So if we've been lied to from the hieroglyphics, that means we're living in a lie. Our words is a lie. And that's where I uncover everything to show y'all, even though we're in America, even though we're doing this, if I was to stay on Facebook, I would be competing with every individual who's not like us. And that would stop my ascension. So you got some time to take yourself away from Facebook. Take yourself away from attachments, just so you could ascend in peace. I'm going to tone it down now, because I want y'all to understand the different flows of energies. See, when you be able to understand what's going on, a lot of us is turned up. We're turned up for no reason because of this environment we're in, the situations we're facing. And these situations now put us in an ego state. And now once you're in your ego, it's like very hard for all of us to see. We can't take what's the best choice for ourselves and use it. We just go with. And so when you have a certain group of people always mortificating you, they're on your TV, always on your radio, you start to think like them. You start to behave like them. And you actually just configure yourself to see the world their way. But then all of a sudden you close your eyes and you see weird entities. You start flying around. You have dreams. Flickering lights come in your eyes. All these things show you you're not just like anybody else. You're different. And so we don't know now, and we're trying to figure out, why is this? How come is that? And we wind up having to be put in a closet, and we hidden, and we don't know. But it's not true. The truth is, you're a higher being. This Kundalini is activating in you. You were set to go off from 2012 to lead the world, to be healers. This got a lot to do with science. If you notice, science is locked out. We don't see what's going on in science. That's because biology, physics, chemistry is all out of sync now. The mathematics is off because the way the biochemistry and the system is working now is going against everything. It's up to us now to awaken and see these things for ourselves. How you're going to be able to see it is by tapping into yourself. If you want to see what your neighbor is doing, you close your eyes and go inwardsly. Inwards is the virtual reality. You pop out here. Close your eyes and go in yourself. You go, boop, you're in this world. But if you look up and you're trying to look out, it's like looking into yourself. You know, there is nothing out there. And so once you realize that, you stop seeking attachment and glorification. Glorification will make you want to know, what does this mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Because you could already know how to do it, but you're more concerned with what does it mean. When you care about what it means, that means you just want to go tell other people, feel your ego now. You have a definition. This is important to understand, because when they came to Africa and they saw the master projector, and they said, what is that? What are you doing? What's the name of your God? They don't know nothing about what they talking about. Like, what are you talking about? This is what we do. But you see, it's only the observer could write the story. And that's what they did, and name all these things that was nameless, that was just instinctive inside of us. Now we're looking for a definition for our instincts. How are you going to define your instincts until you make it? Instincts come off of experience. You could have 1,000,000 instincts in you right now. But if you always go from job to your house, job to your house, job, how are your instincts going to come out? How are you going to develop your instincts? You have experience. Sometimes the ancestors come in your dreams and meditation and drop something in you. You ever get the crown on your head? Do they ever come and put jewelry on your hand and you see these things like, I've been crowned? Well, this is what I'm talking about. These later on, you become something when the instinct go off and the experience happen. All right, you ready, Dupree? Okay, I'm going to get back to this conversation. Let me get Gurpreet in here so we can go. But it's very important to get outside, go into nature. Y'all is all Kundalini, baby. I don't care what color, race you are, because we're all connected through what we call the what's the cross genetics, the cross gene. It comes in every other one. But we're so much of a hybrid now from the colonization. That's going to be a beautiful talk when I get everything in detail, because I'm looking at the European West. They name all their company West, first of all. West African Corporation, that all these places that they captured, like America, if you learn to study it, it's on the 18th parallel. They captured everything on the 18th parallel. They went around the world on the 18th parallel and took everything on the 18th parallel. Google the 18th parallel and see what countries come up, and you see all the West Indian corporations these people took over, West African slave trade corporations of them. I'm tracking them down on a higher level. And what we call in colonization is eugenics. They said they want to get rid of this bad gene off the earth. And so this is where we get into this problem, that they didn't recognize other human beings. And if they didn't recognize human beings then, what make you think they're going to recognize you as human beings tomorrow? They never will. So you have to wake yourself up. And it doesn't go for no race or color, because it has its effects on everybody. We all lost. We thinking wrong. This is about thinking wrong and thinking yourself into a trap, a soul trap. If you want to get out the soul trap, understand this and follow me, because all I'm going to do is debunk things that's been told to us and we follow with not knowing why. Debunk it. Religion, Bible come from Sanskrit writing. The Madharaha. You want to know the real Bible, you have to study biophysiology of Kundalini, of the Vedas. Yo, if y'all was smart, Dr. Sebi was the one who put y'all on. All he said is the Vedas. I don't know about no Bible, I know the Vedas. He was giving you the clue. That's the true Bible. The Vedas. And it's about not just the gods, it's about doing the Dr. Strange shit. You get Kundalini, chakra, your soul. They took it and put it into a Bible and went around the world and gave the Bible to the indigenous people. And we're still stuck on that damn book today and can't ascend. Quickly, you're second guessing yourself. Oh, the devil, oh God, is this godly? Should I do this? This is a sin. Maybe God is going to stop that. You're supposed to fuck up so you know what good is. How could you do right if you don't do wrong? You should never question what you do. Because if you are good in yourself and righteous, this is how you know you are. When you see wrong, you're going to say, no, I ain't partaking in that. Look at Scarface. You remember he was like, yo, you ain't killing no kids, man. You draw a line to something, but you got to do bad. If you ain't do bad, you can't hang with me because I know you're not good. You're willing to try anything. That's the truth. Ugly people will have sex with anybody. Am I correct? They trisexuals. You got to realize that. And then they learn from that. I'm just keeping it real, y'all. I'm just keeping it real. Group P, let's do this. There he comes. All right, we're waiting for Group P. I love y'all. Y'all give me the energy I need. Yes, Group P.
Hey. Sorry for the delay.
Hey, no problem. I'm just glad you made it, man. I know you have things to do, so it's all good. You know.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Getting.
Repeat.
Hold on.
All right. So while he's getting it together, let me give you an overview of what's going on here. Gupit is one of my students. And so I taught Kundalini activation. Kundalini, I seen you posted, but nobody actually seen what happened from Kundalini activation. So this is going to be actually somebody speaking on what takes place when I tell y'all I'm doing Kundalini activation and what is actually, you know, the results from it. What do you get from the contract and the fee and everything? You bet. You there? You got this thing frozen. I guess he'll get it together. So now I just wanted y'all to hear not just about what goes on with Kundalini activation. The important part is he goes into the spiritual world now. He could fly and see things. So you will hear now tell you, and it's not me. So let me get him and we'll try to get a little live so that everybody could understand. Hey, Latoya, what's going on? You want to chop it up for a minute? Give me a minute. Let me see if this Gupri could get back in. And if not, we'll just chop it up for a second before we move on. Well, Lord, I tell you, man, Facebook is bad. You got to be careful with Facebook because there's so many disrespectful people that come in your posts, come in your comments. Very rude people, man, have no manners. And I'm at this point, we're supposed to have respect and manners and check everybody. Don't let nobody get away with nothing. That's what happened in the past.
All right, I'm gonna try this again. I'm sorry. I really apologize. I'm having connection issues.
Cool. I know you was good. That's good. All right, so let's get into this. Everybody, this is Gupri. He's one of my clients or students. And we did the Kundalini activation, and we continuing on, right, with the training or the lessons. Am I correct?
Yeah.
And why you feel that you want to continue? You felt it was good enough service, and you like everything.
I'm gonna go ahead and no, of course, cause hold on a second.
I think he's having trouble. Technical difficulties, y'all. Negative energy. You want to talk about negative energy and vampires? All right. In the meantime, when he's getting it together, negative energies and vampires is everything in our. Put it. Connection is down again. Okay, he's having connection issues. No problem. When we look at what negative energy is, the basic negative energy, it's like anything that interrupts your macabre or comes within your field and actually is not in frequency or resonant frequency as you. Those type of things is what you want to try to avoid. Now, all of us growing up, we grew up like they call it the animal ways. Meaning we're just attraction. You go to sleep, you wake up, you want to fuck. You're just surviving. So those type of things, we don't understand the energies and what we're doing. But as we start to mature now, you understand that these energies has ramifications for chilling with somebody, for being with around somewhere. If you and this person is equal in energy, there's no energy exchange between y'all two. But if you and that person ain't equal, then it's energy exchange. So where do this equal and unequal means? All right, let's look at it on a basic level. These equal and unequal started being noticed by psychologists and psychiatrists and people egos, where they had characteristics that was um, repetitive. Like they do a research of a bunch of people, and all of them had the same characteristics. Then they realizing they had these same characteristics because it was manipulative tactics they was using. It wasn't actually a characteristics. So now that came into games people play. And this is where we get energy blockages and vampire coming. So this is what they found out, that you had certain type of different parts to your ego splits, personalities. These now, what's going on, Michael Deline? It's good to see you. These personality splits come from trauma, post trauma, and we acquire them at a young age. Take your basic one of your pleaser. You know who they are. They're always trying to please you. Yes, ass niggas. Do whatever you say. And they go through life just trying to please people, can't say no. Well, this starts at a young age when they always did good in school. They always was the kid with the good report card, always did this. And so as they grew up, they went around pleasing people. It's the same thing with you always spoil your child. If you spoil your child, you'll get the look at me ass nigga that always want to be the center of attention. So these is what we create. He said, yes, ass niggas, so true. Yes, the mess ass niggas for real. You got a whole bunch of them out there. All they do is please people. So with them, you get the star people. These people now always had the good report card, and then when they came home, their mothers reward them. So whatever they did good, they got something for it. You understand? And so they go through life that way, and that's what we have to be careful for, because we got these same ego splits in all of us. We all have ego splits. And you got the Don Juan ego, the one who always using women, the woman always using men, because she feel she justify herself through her sexuality. This started from probably rape. Some people have been molested by their father, and so they get a split in themselves. And this is where I come in at. As a shadow being, we know these things. This is what you learn in the Wisdom of Solomon and demonology, and how to use the Ring of Solomon to protect, not just to protect. You killing demons. You taking demons out of here forever with the Ring of Solomon. Ain't no coming back for them. But now, when you learning all of this, you learn the different frequencies of splits and how they covertly act. Your soul is up above you. It's not on you. You're the decoy. What we learn is you don't listen to the mouth. I'm teaching you demonology. Never listen to the mouth. The mouth is the trick. You understand? Look for the motive. The motive is easy to catch. If you didn't live with me, you wasn't born with me, what is you coming for? That's the straightforwardness, and you'll be able to catch everything else from there. What's wrong with being a good child student? It's not the child student, it's the reward of the parent. It's nothing being a good student. Who would want to be a bad student? It's the split in the personality. Is the child coming and getting the good grades because they're trying to do better for themselves, or they getting a good grade to impress you? You see, that's the difference. Once the psychology they learn is, if I get a good grade, mommy's going to reward me. Kids don't think like you. We play stupid games with our kids because we're slow. Oh, go, you go do this and I'll get you. No, they're not thinking like that. They're like, oh yeah? So if I do this, you're going to do this. So they setting you up already. You're too predictable. You're too easy. Kids is older than grown-ups. Grown-ups is the ones who like all that childish, dumb shit and make kids dumb. Kids are smart and will break them every time and outsmart you and run around you and make you look stupid. But we don't like to see them like that. We keep them in check because they'll make us look foolish. That's true. I'm being realistic with you. You understand? But that's, it's not about the bad grades. It's the parent causing the split. Ego splits is caused by the parent. It can't be the child within the child. You understand? Let me give you a little bit more detail. I didn't mean for you to misunderstand this, Sonya, because that's not my intention. And I don't want people to make your kids get bad grades. We don't promote no type of bad grades at all, first of all. You understand? As a good parent, that's what you're supposed to be. But as a parent, you don't reward your child for doing good. Your child is supposed to do good because he want to do good. And if you reward them, you cause the split in your child. It's like you got two kids. I'm going to give you a simple understanding. If you have two kids and you go buy both of them a pair of sneakers, they fine. But go buy one of them a pair of sneakers and just observe the other one. That's real. When you buy two, you ain't did shit. You avoided everything. Buy one at a time and observe the other one. That's real. Learn from them. And let them learn not to see that you have to give me one when you give me one. That's the ego split. Competitiveness now, the Cain and Abel between them. You got to catch all that and cut that shit out of their life. Everybody's independent. If I get him something, I mean I got to get you something. And that's how the split is. We got to catch these and fix it, because when you leave and you get into your adult age, you're going to get a partner that allow you to do those stupid things too. The same thing you did with your mother and they raised you to be, is you find somebody that put up with it. That's the truth. We don't want that. You want to keep ascending and learning. You want to pass those frequencies and come on to new ones. So these splits that we're talking about, these is your energy blockages. And a basic energy blockage too is is sexual. Energy blockage make you sexual and sexual active. When you ain't energy blocked, you always having sex. The ether energy is always having sex, and it's a fact. There's people who go to the park with just no panties on and a skirt, and it's like the air is having sex with them. They're having climaxes in the park all day. They don't have energy blockages. When you have energy blockages, you need somebody to pound it out. That's what you're used to. It's a program. When you do that, you put spirits on yourself. You put whatever that person, negative spirit, you put it permanently in you now. It's what it is. You got to realize when you look at the pictures I send you. If you look at the top of the water, my camera is the S10, so it takes very clear, vivid pictures. You see the ripples in the water, the magnetic line. So it's not under the water stuff is happening. It's in the air, pressing down on the water. Your skin imprint, the facial structure is in the air that create these things. And so all of these, then you going in and out the vagina, you imprint the same pattern into it, and then it becomes a thought force, or what we call set, of feminine energy that is alive. You know, when you study the yoni, you will know, like from the oracles of Delphi, they used to rub on their clitoris, and the spirit would come out. Set will come out, or Cajon. And that's who they start predicting and seeing and doing all those stuff. So you have to learn what energy is. What you're seeing is not there. The vagina is more alive. It's set, and all of these play an influence upon each other. And why, when a man stand with a man, nothing happens. A man stand with a woman, his penis gonna erect. It's a magnetic force between y'all till you don't see. You don't just want to chill with her. You want to fuck her. It's the truth. And so you learn the magnetic force and the sexual energy through woman. It's a feminine energy, but it has more control over everything. We're in the feminine energy of the woman. So what about sexual transmutation? God filler, his will, that's good. Sexual transmutation, or what we call tantra, is the right way. Don't avoid sex. You're a sex, and a lot of us is blocked. And when you block, only person who could do it is a high priest or a hierophant. Could fix your energy, man. And you know, it's real talk. I'm not lying to you. But when you block, you can't get it physically. It's an astral. A god gotta fuck you, or some entity or something. That's why these things come up. Now, when you're talking sexual transmutation or tantra, this is a whole system. Study West African Tantra then. You want to learn the true Kundalini. It's sexual, and the air is sexual. This is everything that we're saying. So on a basic level, you want to practice it and do it with your partner. Let me give you a quick thing. I guess y'all want to hear that. It's like you do first foreplay. Foreplay has to be involved because the woman has to get that man hard and fully charged. With him charging up, you got to realize this is not sexual. I'm talking. Understand, all day your vagina through your ovaries, one is spinning and the other spinning. That's Ida and Pingala, and you get the Kadua sign coming up your back and the other one coming down. With the two ovaries, the air energy is coming through the whole of the vagina. For the man, it's the same thing. The penis, the Ida and Pingalas is two penis with the Kadua sign going this way and the other one coming this way. So now, only way you're going to stay alive and have living energy is actually through that area. It's feeded through there. It comes from the root up to the crown. You understand what I'm saying? It's not perverted. It's your life. God gave it to you to live. So now you understand that dancing, it enhances it. It's the same as having sex. Laughing, having a good time. It's small, subtle sex. When a woman foreplay, not foreplay. Let's look at it on when she flirt with you. That's foreplay on a bigger level. It charges you up. Your magnetic field is being charged up. Believe it or not, through that same sexual energy. And now when y'all are about to have sex and you don't have sex and just foreplay, the touching it, that's charging you up and giving you new life. When you have sex now, this is tantra. There's ways that you have to do it. You know, inside of a woman there's different holes. There's 3 spaces in there. You have to understand that. She don't have one thing and you just up. Y'all gonna have to pay me for this information. I'm telling you. But now, once you actually start, for men, don't come. You do not spill your fluid. Never. Straight like that. Never spill your fluid in your. You're the most powerfulest and have power, will. Women don't have no worries. You can spill all day because your fluids and your life force only go out through your menstrual. So y'all could come, and that's what we want. We supposed to make you climax. A man who can't take himself no more after probably 6 months to 90 days of actually engaging but not coming, he has to actually come with her. They climax together at that time, and it gets the God energy. She become a high priestess or a witch. That's the Tantra way. And all of us had to do that. You did that, believe it or not, at 12 years old, man. That was a part of our ancient West African ritual. By 12 years old, you was already married and lived your life. 8 years old, they started flirting around. That's when you become a man back then. You was taken away from your father at 8 years. I mean, your mother at 8. Before 8, you was raised by your mother. But after 8, you have to cut your mother off. And, a lot of people, when they come back, it's in a few cultures, they disrespect their mother. It wasn't a sign of disrespect. It's to show their manhood of the energies. It's actually sexual and does something. But anyway, now, this transmutation takes place from doing the Tantra without the man spiller. He got to be able to maintain the woman. And the woman, if she's not actually, her eyes rolled up in her head and she's speaking in the other tongue, he's not doing it right. He's got to take her where she don't see the room no more. She's in another place. You understand? Once she do that, then he ascended to her, and he become a witch, a wizard, a god. And she become a high priestess and a witch. That's sexual magic in the transmutation process. Wait, what you become a witch, so he has to be celibate? Celibacy is a part of the journey. The one you were chosen, he would have been in a celibate state most of that time. And that's when you chose him and you're going to ascend him. What you call a witch is not a witch. Witch, wizard, these was the first born of the virgin. God's partner is called a witch. And his other side is the wizard. It's the two highest card in the tarot too. You got to realize these is what was the actual title if you was ascended to God. If you follow the Magi is a magician, a wizard, but he's the highest order to God. Same thing with the high priestess, who's a witch. But today, meaning, because Europeans perverted it and they used the moon to do all their Wicca stuff and the Celtics and all them stuff, we're going through a whole bunch of nonsense. Even our moon ain't pure no more because of the Wicca witchcraft that they was trying to mimic of the West African, but lost it. They don't even know what they doing. Unbelievable. They messed the moon up, right? But the moon is still the moon underneath that. That's just the top sheet. Because the moon transmutate thought forms. It's more thought forms here than anything. Think about this. If you was to wonder what thought forms is or how it works, Spider-Man exists in the astral world for real. He's a living being. I mean just like you. I don't mean like Spider-Man and he's in a comic book scene waiting for you to look. No, he has a life. When you think about somebody and you got a consciousness of people thinking about it, and that's a thought form, you give it life. A magician know how to make a thought form, attack or something with it, gave it life and kill it. And some people don't know they create a whole bunch of thought forms and it's living and never died, and they go in there afterwards. All thought forms is real. I want y'all to do the study on it. It's real. You got to learn the law of observation and the law of thermodynamics, how energy works. Once you create energy, it can't be destroyed. It can't be destroyed. That's why when we do open up with the circle, you close. You don't just do it. But, this is deeper stuff. And if y'all want me to start teaching this, y'all got to help me now. I don't know what y'all like or into, but I can sit down here and talk it, bring out the books, write up on this board. Y'all got to let me know, man. And I would break it down to y'all so y'all be good at it. I'll do a private teaching, private class in university, conscious science, kick everybody out, and we'll just do a private class, so it'll be set up for just who want to say, who want to understand it. So these thoughts form, yep, control the orgasm, yes. And women, make sure y'all give them that full orgasm and get the ones that could ascend you. If they can't ascend you, don't even make no sense. Tell them, get the fuck out of here. Straight like that. Get out of here. What are you doing? You understand? You have to tell them straight. Go get your life together, man. Glenn Willis, yes, 100. Yes, we're not supposed to just be here doing Christian sex and 69 and let's go to sleep, honey. And what are you doing? You're the virgin and the dragon. You don't see who's protected in the Bible? The virgin. If you want me to pull up my Bible and tell y'all about what happens to a wife if you go marry a husband? You got no place in heaven. You're going the other way. It's the virgin who gets up there. At the end of Revelation, who's God saving? The virgin. There's no such thing as a virgin. Virgin in dark talk or alchemy talk mean a single woman. That's all it means, a single woman. It don't mean a woman who hasn't had sex. You understand what I'm saying? So I want you to understand what is a virgin. And to be married, you lost your destiny. You fell off your destiny. You was born by yourself and died by yourself. Now, whatever you're doing between is because you're scared. I'm going to end it like that. Short, sweet, and sweet. Short, sweet, and sweet. It ain't even nothing like that. Experience now is your triggers. Go find your triggers, and you don't even know you probably walk on water, man. Go back home. Go back to West Africa. Come visit me in the West Indies. You're supposed to be like a traveler. This is a free world. Why y'all want to lock down and white people got y'all wanting to do what they do? Nothing. You want to go get a car like them now. You don't even think for yourself. You be like, yo, let me see what they doing and I want to do that too. Nah, we supposed to be running around looking for crystals, protections. We're black, man. We do different things. Things they do is for dead people, mechanical people. We don't do mechanical no more. We heal ourselves. We do placebo medicine. We believe it and it's in us. If I want to smoke weed, I think it. If I want to drink, I think it. Placebo medicine, man. We don't get sick. Monitor yourself. If you even start sneezing, you fell off. Don't be around people that's sick. Watch out for little kids. If you got kids with germs, your kid come home from school, you're supposed to wipe them down with wipes, antibacterial anyway. I'm telling y'all the truth. You bringing that in your house. You don't know about other people, kids and wigworms and all that. Nah, wipe your stuff down, man. We too loose. Can't come here with all that. And that's our problem. We too comfortable. And we want to be like them and we're not thinking right, man. Get back to nature and your thoughts will come to you and you think for yourself. Separate yourself. Yo, let me tell you, just for the record, the pygmies and the Botswana people never mix. They mix once. When you do the history of the pygmies and the Butu people or the Nigerians, they don't mix. No, it's called exogamic. Exogamic. Look it up. Tribes don't have sex with other tribes. They don't mix. You got to be the same way. Protect yourself. God sent you. Your spirit sent you. They didn't send you here to come socialize and fit in and do what they do. You got your own stuff. You got to tap in and remember. That's what I'm here to help y'all do. Remember. So here comes Group Pete again. Everybody's authentic here. Is nobody supposed to see this from the same angle if we all surrounding this? If we all around this and everybody's saying the same thing, and we're not seeing it from the same perspective, you know something is wrong. You're programmed to say what you're saying. That's my motto, I'm telling you. I know no two persons see life the same, and I don't expect you to say the same thing this one say, but we all supposed to respect each other and learn from each other's experience like eschatology and write it down so the next generation don't make the same mistakes we do. We're back to being in the Stone Age when the Europeans put us in the New World and didn't give us our ancestors' eschatology. We don't know nothing. Yo, we got 4,000 years of Egyptian and West African hidden history that tell us anything and everything. They took it and they're making their little science and their little mathematics and that's fucking us up. They don't know how to read our stuff. That's ours. For us, you take it and you probably do close your eyes and have it on you and you be like, I got it. Throw it away. We don't need it no more. It's all here. For them, they're like, yo, you decoded it yet? Have you figured it out yet? Did you make sense of it yet? Come on, family. Caught up. I was like, yo, how we got caught up? All right, Goopy, let's do this. Let's see if we in. Yes, yes, Reese Campbell. I love y'all too, man. Trust me, y'all make me who I am. I love y'all. Goopy,
Finally.
I'm glad you made it. You see, I'm hanging out just so we could do this. You know, and I thank everybody who stood around for this part. And seriously, you know, I might get a little comfortable. For the record, I'm in a Buddha field. And Goopy, is that true? I'm in a Buddha field. When we come, it's no playing no games and it's tight, isn't it?
Straight up, man. We just resonate on the same field. It's unexplainable. It's really something. I can't really explain. We're just, we really resonate with one another, and the information we talk about, the experiences, it's been pretty mind blowing. Ever since we started, you know, exchanging energy, and you bringing the knowledge to me, and me being able to learn and harness those abilities and believe in myself. It's really been eye opening.
Okay, good.
I don't know if you want
Well, you said
specifically about.
yeah, these abilities. I want you to tell about the abilities in yourself. Explain. You know, I'm done for
Yeah,
the show now.
I'll, I'll first go into my story, and then I'll kind of just, you know, kind of branch it into how it relates to what we've been doing. So basically, as a kid, I've always been, connected to, spirits, the paranormal. You know, I used to always see shadow beings, entities, as a child. And obviously, when you're a child, you don't know what's real and what's fake, or if what's make believe. And it was scary. I would have out of body experiences like nothing. As a kid, you don't know what's going on, and so I was always sensitive to the paranormal, or the quote unquote paranormal, what people would say now, and it just kind of stemmed from there. As I got older and older, you kind of forget, or you kind of force yourself to forget about those events. And as I grew up into my teens and then in my 20s, but I always had a keen, or interest in the unknown, learning the unknown. And whether it's meditating, whether it's just educating myself about different you know books, religions, whatever it is, just being completely open-minded. And so I knew these events that had occurred while I was, when I was younger. I knew they really meant something, and it was always in the back of my mind. Like it wasn't just something that was make believe. But whatever. So as I got older, the events started occurring, reoccurring in my life, but they started getting more intense, and I didn't know what was going on. I started seeing these translucent balls of light in my vision, just like all over the place. And that was like the most eye-opening experience I've ever had, and that was in my 20s. And that's what kind of jump started me into where I am right now, which is the spiritual life, or just kind of going deep into the unknown, and kind of going against the grain what everyone else believes. People think you're crazy or whatever, but I kept going forward. And so as soon as that had occurred, when I see these balls of light, I started then happening started having these spontaneous out of body
Oh, brother,
experiences,
they love you.
astral
Keep going. That's it. So good.
and
That's
and
the love.
I wasn't even trying, and I would find myself, with these battling these entities, these beings, these, it was like the most crazy experience you could ever experience, and I had no idea, but I knew there was some kind of reality to that. There's no way this is happening for no reason. So, anyways, that's when I started looking more deeper into who I was, why I'm here, trying to gain as much knowledge as possible, trying to find certain teachers and guides, whatever I can possibly do to kind of put the pieces together. So years have gone by, and I realized what I was doing, these extra projections, these out of body experiences, what they meant, but still I wasn't really putting all the pieces together. I would have experiences with like orbs, like for example, what you're having, like they would just come down and hit me, and I would just start vibrating on my bed. It's just like insane experiences. I just unexplainable things.
Yeah,
So then,
that'd be real.
you know, I started to, yeah, even like I would see beings above my bed. You know, you'd be lifted off into a craft, like these just unexplainable things. Anyways, so then I hit my 30s. So now I'm in my early 30s, and now I'm starting to put all the pieces together, you know, of like my multi-dimensional self, and you know why we're here, and how literally, you know, everything is upside down. You know, you have to literally put everything, you know, turn it back upright, because everyone's living their mundane life. They're, you know, they're 9 to 5, watching TV, watching sports, going to sleep, and that's it. That's what people think living is. That's what people think. That's why we're here. It's totally opposite from the truth. And
Found out.
huh?
What you found out? What's the opposite of truth?
The opposite of truth is, you know, like we came here, like, you know, I am greater than this. I am not just this body. You know, I come from, you know, yeah, that's a pretty hard question. I mean, it's a broad question.
Going good. Going
But
good.
the best way I can explain it is, I'm having an experience, you know, for my soul, so you know I can just gain experience and continue to grow. And I've done this many times on many different realities, on many different dimensions. This is just happens to be the third dimension, you know, and this happens to be a reality that you know, I chose to come down upon and, you know, play the game, because it's just a big game, really. And you start.
You hear that? He's right. That's a fact. Go ahead.
So then, you know, I was having all these crazy experiences, and that's when I kind of ran, you know, saw your videos on
Appreciate that.
YouTube, and
Go ahead.
huh?
I was talking.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I saw your videos on YouTube, and your information really resonated with me. And the thing is, you were a little different compared to the others. Your information was very different. Everyone, I feel like all the other spiritual teachers, they're kind of saying the same thing, and it's almost like a trap in a way. There's so many traps set up for you here. Even when you think you got it right with all these other spiritual teachers, no. I'm telling you, most of them are not real. It's just another trap. So, anyways,
Tell me about
you know,
the trap that you found with one of the teachers.
yeah. I'm gonna get into that
This
right
is
now.
important with them teachers. Tell us real.
So, obviously we started connecting, and you know, I reached out to you for the Kundalini services, and and you know, we started doing some energy work. You gave me some knowledge, and you know, that's when I started working on myself, and that's when
Hold on.
my
Before you
stuff
go,
started.
pardon me. Talk about within the Kundalini and body doubling, astral traveling. How did that unfold with seeing into it?
Say it again.
Like, with the Kundalini activation, how did like seeing into the parallel world start to unfold for you?
Yeah. So, man, there's so much happened. It's crazy. Okay, so you know, so I would all so it would just start. I see the microscopic vision, if that makes sense. The orbs, you know, when you the cells. That makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I kind of started. You know, I don't know how to explain it, but it just started occurring not too long ago. The microscopic vision, and from there on, I started having these experiences where, you know, orbs would come down, and you know, while I'm sleeping, and just hit me, and all of a sudden I'm in the astral world. I'm not even trying to jump out of my body, or trying to initiate an astral projection. I'm in this totally different world. It's almost like a mirror of what this is. But there's levels to it, I understand. But um, what was your question again? Sorry.
No, I've got to tell about the guy on Facebook.
The guy, right? That's what I was gonna go into.
Okay,
So,
go ahead.
anyways, about these teachers, right? These a lot of these spiritual teachers that, you know, unfortunately, some of them just don't seem right. Like, you know, I was following this one guy, and you know, he's getting pretty famous now. He's on YouTube. I'm not gonna mention who, but you know, very articulate, very like well spoken. Says, you know, a lot of great information and knowledge, and um, but something's wrong. Like, I just had this feeling inside. I was like, I don't know about this. I don't know if I could trust him. And well, all of a sudden, maybe like 2 3 days later, I spontaneously astral projected, and all of a sudden I was in this area and I was searching for that teacher in the astral. I was asking around, like I was part. I found his like entourage or like these people, and I was asking, "Hey, do you know where this individual is at?" And I would say the name, and they would just laugh at me like, "You can't see him. You can't see him." And I would go from one person to another, and they were part of his entourage, his group in the astral, and they would just continuously turn me down and laugh at me. And but I knew, but I was so persistent, and I called upon him numerous times, and that's when he came down. He literally like floated above and came right in front of me, and right when I saw him, I got an instant download, and I knew right away that this guy isn't who he is, you know, saying he is. Basically, what he does, from the information I got right away, was that he would raise, he would raise the people consciously at a certain level. You know, he would still raise them, give them information, but then he would cap them off. He would cap them off to a point where he was still above them, and that's it.
See
And
that?
that's obviously
That's an energy theft and a locked energy theft. So that's a soul trap for a lot of people because a spirit used them to get to y'all. Y'all paying him attention, and while you're paying him attention, he's stealing y'all soul. That's a soul trap. You understand what's going on here? What's inside of you is automatic. For example, when we meet up, we do our service, and it's under the most humblest condition. But most of the stuff take place within your dream world and astral world. Am I correct?
no. I totally agree with you. 100%, 100%. Continue. Go ahead.
No,
What were
no.
you gonna say?
Yes, I was going to ask you now. So, what is it like working with me and the experiments?
Yeah, so to finish the story first, so as soon as I got the information and I realized who he was, he knew I knew that I found out who he was, and but he couldn't overpower me just because I knew that. If it's hard to explain, I instantly just rose above him as soon as I found out the information, and he just stayed where he was. I don't know if it was I moved up a level or a dimension
Yeah,
up over him.
yeah, he's a gatekeeper. If you can't pass his fear, then you stuck underneath him forever. That's why you got to be careful who's your gatekeeper. It's a person you interact with. They always going to play the role as your gatekeeper, but in the astral world, it's a different. You're going to keep running in perception in a circle, steal your energy, and you don't know nothing is going on. So once he passed him and the sun passed him, it's nothing he has over him no more. It's nothing he could do. And that's one thing you learn with this Kundalini activation. Whoever you truly are inside, you get to meet them and you be them. You know, he could be way powerful than me or know more than me, but in this astral, he'll learn all of it. You understand? Go ahead.
No, yeah, no, that's the thing. We need to be careful about, who we give our energy to and trust to, because a lot of these so-called teachers, like you said, it's a trap. It should be, we should know right away, whether it's they charge X amount of money, whether it's just by your own intuition. We really need to be more in tune with ourselves, because honestly, um, we have all the answers inside. And, you know, so working with you, the difference between these other individuals is you're giving me the tools and I'm doing all the work. I'm doing all the legwork. These other guys, they'll give you like audio and say, "Oh, here, I sent you this activation. Here you go. This is it." Or say, "Here, come with me and I'll do energy on you and you're done. You're healed." Or not healed, or like, you're whatever it is. You're activated to this. It's like, no, you personally, I have to do all the work. The exchange with me and you, I still got to do all the work. I have, what I mean? So that's the big difference I've noticed. And even just from talking to you, looking at you and communicating, it is a knowing. There's a knowing I'm working with someone who's genuine, and who's not like, a deceiver, basically. So working with you has been really great. You've opened my eyes, and the information, it's different because it's literally not being shared right now. All everyone's scared to talk about the underworld. Everyone's scared to talk about, demons, whatever it is. It's all just vocabulary. You have to go past that fear factor and understand that these
I like
are
that.
all
Fact.
aspects within us.
That's a fact. It's
Yeah,
just
all these.
vocabulary. Even the name of the gods, you know, we spoke about that, how it's different names and different cultures. You see them. Do you see the gods? Tell me about
Yeah,
one of the
we.
experiences when you saw one of the gods.
Okay, so there was another experience when it was right after I talked to you. The next day, I was in I all of a sudden I was in the astral again, and there was this, and I look up, and I'm looking at a sun, and I knew right away what I needed to do, and I went right through that sun like a portal, and then I saw a bunch of rings, and I was just traveling.
Uh,
Crazy. It was like you're flying through the rings, and it's like you
so,
literally
so,
have to make sure.
hold on. You're saying people could fly through the sun?
Yeah, it's a portal. They're all
Okay.
portals. There's
Do I come from the other side of the sun and do all the ancestors and everybody's on the other side of the sun? Is
yeah.
everybody there? That's the real
No,
world, right?
no.
Go ahead.
So when I was traveling, when you're actually going through the ring, it's like you're on this roller coaster. It felt so real. It was like you literally can be pulled down up while you're trying to go through the portal. So anyways, it goes so fast. So you have to be careful. Anyways, so I travel, and all of a sudden I end up at a location, and I see other individuals there, and it was like beautiful. Wherever I was, I don't know wherever I ended up, and um I'm flying around, and it feels, it's like if you think you flew at a dream, you haven't. Trust me, when you actually flown, it's like the most crazy experience
Scariest
that you're
thing in the world, right? Yeah, it's no difference from actually falling. It's no difference from jumping off of
yeah.
a mountain. It's the realest thing in the world. I can't take it. I literally don't like
It
that.
was
I'm like,
it was
oh my
scary, but then when
god.
you feel like you're gonna, the way you have to control and left and right, and it's all mental. You don't literally try
Yeah,
to. Everything
yeah.
is controlled.
Now, I
So
want to ask you real quick, because that was one of the things that had me red flag everything. Because people think you walk and you move left and right like you do atomic body. Is it a totally whole different system for moving in your macabre?
it's all mental. Everything is mental. Like everything you do, every movement you do is mental. You're not literally picking up an arm and leg or whatever you're doing. It's all through the word. Um, it's, I don't know how to explain it, but you know what I mean. But it's
This
just,
is psychokinesis.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Like all with thought. It's all with uh, trying to think of the word. I can't think of the word. I'm trying. Basically, it's completely different from what you think it is. You're
Pretty
not.
much. You know,
First of all, you're not physical,
Damon, you love
right?
the underground. Valerie, David. No, it's not a matter of loving the underground. What is the underground? You come from the underground. You came from the inner world. There is no outer world. There's only underground. That's what they're
People need to.
tricking you with. If you go up, you're just gonna shoot up and come back up on the bottom. That's what I'm trying to tell you. There's only in. You come from inside of a black hole. That's it. There's no other way. Yeah, continue.
No, people need to realize, like, all these underground, negative, positive, they're all aspects within us. We, it's all within us. Everything is the negative. Hello.
Yeah, say
Okay.
it again.
Yes. So where did I cut off?
Right where you would say the positive.
So basically, all these, it's all within us. All these are our own aspects. The positive, the negative.
The Anunnaki thing.
Yeah. So, like, for example, I have aspects of my Anunnaki side, by my reptilian side, by my Syrian side. These are all aspects within us. It's all we played the game on both sides. That's my perspective.
That's a fact. I hope y'all understand that so we don't get it wrong. Those are the things that we never know why they trick us. Y'all believe it externally. Everything is you. You have to find all of these sides of yourself. And that's what makes you a composite being. You're a composite being, but you separate. You're the consciousness and you playing out a whole bunch of multiple things. When you think that you at work and like say you walking or whatever the case may be, you can multitask in your mind and be in Saturn doing something else, over here doing something else. You could do that, and we tend to do that a lot too, where we drift off because you have multiple you in different places.
That's the multidimensional me and you, right? I could go and drift off in another aspect of myself anytime, any moment.
And
Right now, there's time. Time exists here, but on the other, there is no
there
time.
is
You
no
know, you
time.
there is no time. It's just an illusion here because obviously we need it for experience. But once you pop out, you go to any aspect, and that is all those aspects are a part of me. You have to integrate with all those aspects, your positive and negative, because that's the only way you level up.
Amen. Say that again. One more. You hear that, y'all? You can, there is no such thing as good and bad. That's what I was telling them. You have to accept both the positive and the negative. It's not. You can't make it. And a lot of people is going through a lot of dissonance because of the simple fact they can't connect the two to make them one. Because through religion and duality, we always accept one or the other. We never able to balance it to the middle. You know, the middle path is the right path, or just don't deal with neither one.
Exactly, and right now it's unfortunately, it's just fear. Fear gets in the way of everything, and everything's been manipulated. Whether it's the bad or the good, and people are just kind of stuck, and they're scared to see themselves. Basically, that's what it is. It's
That's the most truest thing I heard today. They scared to see themselves. That's what it is. You're right, my brother. You're right.
Yeah, and so that's been what's been going on. I've been just integrating with all my aspects, and once you integrate, like I said, you're basically like getting past the gatekeeper. You're leveling up, and it's an endless game. It's amazing, really. It keeps going and going, and I don't know. That's just it's crazy.
Beautiful. I'm glad to hear everything. And the energy exchange, when we exchange energy, you feel any at the present moment when we do the energy exchange?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, there was a time when you were focusing on like the pineal gland or certain energies, certain whether it's my throat or heart. You know, there is definitely a connection being made there. There is definitely a physical feeling, even like on an energetic level, that is being made, for sure.
Yes, yes. All right, so is there anything you want to just end off with? We're just gonna finish up. This been a long live. You know, y'all can hit up
Yeah, sorry,
tweet too.
late.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry I came in late. I had bad connection over here. I'm still I'm at work. um, but just wanted to say, thank you for giving me this opportunity to kind of share my story experiences with you, and I do think and hope that this resonates with someone and it can assist them in their journey. Because honestly, it comes down to what's inside and believing yourself, and because we all have that voice, we all have that strong intuition, which is our divine self, that who's always talking, communicating with you. Trust that over anything. You
Ah,
know.
beautiful, and that's all we follow. If you don't follow that, you're following yourself. Even me. That's why he tell you I leave him alone after we done the exchange, and he does everything and learn everything. Everybody have their own mentor, your own teacher. It's just to activate them so you could get to in touch with them. It's like the wall of your subconscious mind is gonna drop, and now you have both your conscious and your subconscious mind for you to deal with. You sort it out, and you on yourself to way to being a higher being and back to the God that you was. So, stay tuned. Y'all want to hit up Group Pete now? Y'all see him, hit him up. He know a lot. And it's funny, we haven't exchanged one book or nothing. This is all from talking, right? That's a fact.
Yep.
So you see what we could do if you just try. All right. So Group Pete, let you get back to what you got to do. I thank y'all for tuning in and checking me out. God bless y'all. You hear? One love.